You know you're undateable when...
When your hair is longer than mine.
When your boobs are bigger than mine.
When your pants are tighter than mine.
When you play with your sister's dolls.
When you spend all morning straightening your hair.
When your pants are below your ass.
When you're the one who wanted to go see Twilight.
When I'm paying the bill.
When all you want to do is just cuddle.
When you call me your son. What's up, son?
When you pick me up in a really creepy van.
And you make me sit in the back.
And it belongs to your mom.
When I can eat more than you.
When you want to borrow my clothes.
And you don't return them.
When you tell me to make you a sandwich.
When I find out you've been wearing my underwear to your parties.
And all your friends know.
When your favorite pastime is being naked in the locker room with the basketball team.
When you ask me why I'm not in the kitchen.
When your favorite band is the Jonas Brothers.
When you wear more makeup than me.
When you do your eyebrows every week.
When you have a unibrow and you don't do your eyebrows.
When you have a unibrow even though you did your eyebrows.
When the Backstreet Boys were your inspiration for your hairstyle.
When your role model is the situation.
When you refer to me as fresh booty.
When your style doesn't match your lingo. Like a skater kid saying, "What up, ma?"
When you really do just have a 1-inch pinch.
When you wear tidy whities.
When your best Friday night involves a Julia Roberts movie and a bucket of Ben & Jerry's.
When you watch a Julia Roberts movie.
And cry.
Just like you did during the Notebook.
When you write down your emotions.
When you carry a purse.
And no, it's not a satchel.
Or a purse.
When your moves can compete with Pamela Anderson.
When people can ask you how far along you are.
And seriously think you're in the 3rd trimester.
Or the 2nd.
When the only way you know how to impress a girl is by burping the alphabet.
And it doesn't even sound like the alphabet.
When you invite me to the Star Trek convention.
And you go dressed up.
When you own a Speedo.
And you wear it.
When we go on a date, you're wearing more jewelry than I am.
When I find out you have more shoes than I do. And that's a lot.
When you can't grow a mustache. Or armpit hair.
When you have enough armpit hair. Or back hair. Or shoulder hair. To donate to Locks for Love.
When you have said body hair and you shave it.
Like seriously, just wax it.
When you really like to bake.
And your brownies come out better than mine do.
When you're seriously afraid of going to the gym.
When you go to hold my hand and I find out your nails are yellow.
When Justin Bieber is your soundtrack.
When you talk to me like I'm 2.
When you look like you belong on the Jersey Shore.
When our most popular topic of conversation is your ex-girlfriend.
When your favorite pair of jeans are ones that look like my dad would wear them.
When you have MySpace pics, you know, on Facebook. Aren't we beyond this?
If you own nunchucks.
Or Cosby sweaters. When you're being Guitar Hero on Expert.
When you have every single video game console.
When you thought the best way to pick me up was to use a pickup line.
Like, did it hurt when you fell down from heaven?
Is your dad an astronaut? 'Cause your ass is out of this world.
I'm not a polar bear, but I sure know how to break the ice.
When we're sitting on the couch and you fart on me and laugh about it.
When you wear Ed Hardy.
Or head to toe Hollister.
When your sheets have dinosaurs.
Planets.
Or Barbie.
You wear cut-off shorts. Or double denim.
Or shirts that are tighter than mine.
Or velour sweatsuits.
Or pants. Show your ankles.
Or muscle tees when you don't have any muscles.
When you ask me to open the jar.
When we go on a date and all you want to wear is your trailer trash white beater.
And those gray sweatpants with the ketchup stain. And that other stain.
When you kiss me and your breath tastes like pickles.
Or bologna.
Or garlic. When you name your little friend.
And I mean little friend.
When you and my mom exchange gardening tips.
When you whine more than my little sister.
When your voice is higher than my little sister.
If you're John Tucker.
Where it's rare for you to say a sentence that doesn't involve the F-bomb.
When you speak in third person.
The situation doesn't like this.
When your hair is more colors than mine.
You have frosted tips.
When you own more hair products than I do.
When you have a bathrobe and you wear it.
Hey man,
Hey,
what
hey.
up? Yeah.
I like that ass.
Ooh.
When you smack your friend's ass and it's not after your football game. When that's how you greet my brother. When every time my mom comes down the stairs, you break out into Stacy's mom. And my name's not Stacy.
When you frequently use the term MILF.
About your own mother. My oldest memory of you is you singing Miss New Booty in the hallway.
When you have a lisp.
When you call my grandma Mamacita.
When you ask me out on a date and want to know how we're getting there.
When your wheels is just your scooter.
When, on our way to the date, you almost get arrested for your road rage.
I'm not your son, or your bro, or your ma.
Do any of these apply to you? Because if they do,
You're undateable.